Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, host and producer of Chats with Cats presented by WeTV. Welcome to episode 100, Chats with Cats Live. When I started the show with Russell Jones Jr. in February 2024, I had no idea that we would still be going strong almost 2 years later. What started as a dive into the 2023 and 2024 basketball team, and who they are on and off the court, turned into something so much more. Chats with Cats evolved into a look into all of the student athletes and who they are off the court or field. We also have grown into featuring the official dance team of Western Carolina University and our wonderful Pride of the Mountains marching band, both very important aspects of the game day experience. Today is a celebration of everything our tech crew and I have been working towards for 99 episodes. With all of that being said, I would like to welcome our first guest of the evening, Sadler Miller of the women's golf team and the track and field team. How are you, Sadler?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this. For those that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Sadler Miller. I'm a senior on the women's golf and track team, like Alex said, and I'm majoring in interior design and minoring in art.
Awesome. So in a changing college athletics landscape of the transfer portal and NIL, what would you say kept you at WCU for all 4 years?
I think I definitely got very lucky choosing a school that I love so much. I think when you choose a school, obviously having things that you love to do, being really close by, like I love the outdoors, camping, and Western is home to so many beautiful outdoors, recreation, mountains, hiking, all of that. So that made things definitely easier. But I will say there's not many schools where two coaching staff are willing to work with you on balancing schedules, especially with a major and a minor, and all the classes in my major are 3 hours long. So fitting in 2 practices a day, not the easiest thing in the world, but Western is definitely one of those places where everybody wants to see you succeed, whether that's golf, track, academically, starting up an art business I did a year ago. Everyone wants to help you, and everyone is finding connections for you and bridging that gap between being a student athlete, the workforce, so many different things that over the years you keep meeting people and forming new friendships and making connections that when you go somewhere else, you got to start all over. So it's hard to want to leave such a tight-knit community because, you know, who knows if another school is going to be as amazing as Western is. So it's hard to want to leave.
Yeah, and absolutely. And along those kind of connections, and especially with your major being interior design, having spent your collegiate career in not just one but 2 Division I sports, would you say it's difficult to decide whether to get a job in your major or to progress into the sports industry?
It's definitely hard. I've been lucky enough to make connections through my major, golf and track, around Western. Last summer I did an internship with Darren Watley, who's a architect and interior design firm in Highlands, North Carolina. And so I worked with him Monday through Thursday, but then I also got an opportunity to caddy at Wade Hampton and Cashers. So I worked for Darren 4 days out of the week and then caddied 2 to 3 days out of the week. Definitely probably overbooked myself, but it's hard to choose between your major and your sport. And Western, 30 minutes away, we've got some of the nicest, most private golf courses out there. So it's hard to say no to that. But being able to see that side of the golf industry really made me wonder, okay, do I want to stay in my sport when I get out of school, or do I want to go straight into a 9-to-5? And I think I've been stressing out about it a lot just because, you know, graduating, the future is upcoming, it's stressful. But I really loved seeing the golf aspect and seeing what a career might be like in golf. So I think after I graduate, I'm going to do another full season of caddying at Wade Hampton. And I've been go for 4 years. So I think I'm not going to jump into a 9-to-5 straight away and kind of see how the golf industry is a little bit, and then I'll probably dive back into interior design. So trying to balance both, it's hard, but yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I do understand that not only would it already be difficult to balance 2 sports, but then on top of that, it's not just one of the typically a little bit more less of a time constraint like business majors typically are, as one myself. So do understand that. But what do you enjoy most about each of your sports? As mentioned, you are in 2 different sports.
I would definitely say, you know, golf, a competitive day is all day. It can be anywhere from 4 to 10 hours a day of competition. So golf, I love that every golf course is different. Every single shot you're going to hit is going to be different. Every single lie is going to be different. Every hole is going to look different. And then also courses have houses on them. So, you know, me kind of being lucky that I like interior design and architecture, I get to kind of distract myself and look at the houses while I'm playing golf. So that kind of helps take an ease off how mentally draining golf can be sometimes. And then track, I would definitely say, all 4 years I've been here, the track teams, it's just one big family. It's really amazing. No matter how many people come in and out, it just seems like there's always going to be someone there for you. And also, it's a little bit less stressful that I do high jump, so it's a little less stressful that high jumps 30 minutes to an hour. So it's a little bit more lighthearted and fun, and you've got all your people around with you. So golf's a little more tense. So track it's kind of fun that it's more lighthearted and go with the flow, I would say.
I think it's also interesting to think about how you mentioned golf is a little bit more tense, but also a lot of the time, because they're both more typically individual sports, they're both a little bit more mentally taxing, and so having both of those, finding a way to balance that is super important. But instead of having our typical lightning round where I ask you multiple short little questions with short little answers, I have one for each of our 3 guests today. So for you, Sadler, if you had to replace both of your other sports with one sport, what would it be?
I would definitely say swimming. I did year-round swim for 10 years, did it all throughout high school, so I did golf, swim, and track in high school, and I think swim was supposed to kind of be my main sport, but it's a very draining sport like golf and track. But I still love swim. My little brother's still doing swim, so it's fun to go back home and watch high school meets and be there and be a timer and support them and stuff. So I would probably definitely say swim.
Awesome. Thank you, Sadler.
Yeah, thank you.
For now, that is going to wrap up our chat with Sadler. With so many total guests, we decided to reach out for any special shout out and message some of our guests to see what they would like to say to Chats with Cats or Catamount Nation. Here's what some of those guests had to say, and stay tuned after for more Chats with Cats live.
I want to give a shout out to CWC, Chats with the Cats. Alex took the initiative to understand the athlete's perspective, through their sport and through everyday life, which is being in college, having to deal with all the other things outside of just the sport that we're playing. And then just letting everybody understand how we operate and the things that we value and what we go through throughout our college experience. So shout out to Chats with the Cats on the 100th episode, and love, Alex. Appreciate it.
Hey Catamount Nation, this is Lily Bell with the women's softball team here at Western. I just wanted to give a huge congrats to Chats with Cats on their 100th episode. I'm incredibly grateful for this experience and learning about other athletes' perspectives in the Western Carolina community, and I can't wait to see what Chats with Cats has in store for the future.
Hey Catamount Nation, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Chats with Cats show and everyone involved on reaching their 100th episode. Thank you guys for allowing me to share my experience with being on the dance team at Western Carolina while being a student, and thank you guys so much for including the dance team and making a new segment for us and showing what it means to be a dancer at Western Carolina. Go Cats!
What's up, Catamount Nation? Just wanted to send a quick shout out to Chats with Cats for reaching their 100th episode. Just wanted to say congratulations to you guys over there for all your hard work you do, for giving back to the student athletes and more, and just giving them a platform to voice their opinions and talk about the season and life outside of their sport. And I had the privilege of guest starring last season and really enjoyed it. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work. Congrats.
Yo, this is Kamar. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be on Chats with Cats, Alex. It really allows athletes and just people at the school just to tell their stories about how being at Western has been and how Catamount Nation is and all the great things that happen in Color Wing, North Carolina, that people wouldn't necessarily know. I was very grateful for my experience and my time there, and just want to say thank you, Alex, again for allowing me to talk on your show, and I hope everything keeps going well, and appreciate you.
Congratulations to the entire Chats with Cats team on reaching episode 100. The show has been such a special part of Catamount Nation, and it's been incredible to watch it grow. I'm so grateful to have been such a small part of it. Here's to the next 100 episodes, and as always, go Cats.
Thank you all for sending those in, and Elias Barton of our track and field team has returned for his 4th appearance on the show. Welcome back, Elias.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself if you don't mind, for those who might not have seen your other 3 episodes.
My name's Elias Barton. I'm a 200 and 400 meter sprinter, and I am majoring in sport management and about to graduate soon.
Yeah, gonna be very sad for us not having you try to take over my hosting chair like you like to do.
I'll keep getting it, don't worry.
Oh, that's great to know. But we'll go ahead and get started. How do you take what you do in practice and apply it to the meets?
I think it's very tough. That's something I typically struggle with. Personally, I have a tendency to overthink, and I'm a practice warrior. I go out and I'm crushing my opponents, my teammates, and I get to a track meet and it all just kind of goes kaput. So to kind of take a moment to breathe and relax and go out and try to just make it feel like a practice. I'm there with my teammates, I'm there to compete, I'm there to be competitive and keep that same competitive drive I have in practice at a meet. It's a game changer. So it's something I definitely keep working at and develop.
Yeah, and along with the development, last time that you were on the show, we actually were discussing your comeback story after being out for injury. I'd like to ask, looking back, how the injury and recovery helped shape you and develop you.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did a lot. So I had ankle surgery last October, and they said I would be about 3 months of therapy to get back to running. It ended up taking 6. And I thought about quitting and giving up multiple times, and I had 3 major setbacks that really kind of drove me to almost quit. But I'd go to practice, I'd see my teammates, they're retraining, they're doing some incredible things on the track, and so I just kept wanting to be out there with them. And so I would just sit on the sideline, basically doing core and maybe biking, and it basically increased my motivation to get back out there. And so mentally, it just it was like a full mental reset, and I basically had to start with PT, and it was 6 months, 3 days a week of PT and rehab, and physically that showed me a lot of what I need to do if I want to be in shape, healthy, and stay uninjured.
Yeah, I think having those periods to, like you said, kind of mentally reset are very important, even though obviously don't want to be injured, but it can be helpful to reflect on for sure. And similarly to, as I asked Sadler, what do you enjoy most about your sport?
I love everything about it, but honestly, it's the competitive drive. I love being competitive. I love the competition and racing against all my friends, my team, and then my opponents from different schools. So definitely the competitive drive.
Yeah, it makes sense with your earlier answer about the competitive drive.
Yep.
And for your lightning question, if you had to switch from track to a field event, what would your event be?
That's tough. I'd probably do high jump or long jump.
Yeah. I kind of figured it would be one of the jumps. Makes enough sense to me. But thank you, Elias, for our regular segment with you. And thank you all for watching so far. We are headed into a commercial break, but when we come back, we still have amazing things on the way. Stay tuned.
Roll over. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back, Catamounts. I am incredibly thrilled to introduce our third guest for Chats with Cats Live. He was in our Season 4 or Fall 2025 premiere from the Pride of the Mountains Gold Drumline, Jacai Germain. How are you, Jacai?
Doing great, Alex. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. It's good to have you back. We'll go ahead and get started. And what would you say gives you your love for music? And of course, you can introduce yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Jacai Germain. I'm a percussionist here at Western Carolina. I'm on the Gold Drum Line here. I play snare drum. And I've been on the Gold Drum Line for the past 3 seasons. My freshman year, I was on the Purple Line. And I'm an audio production major, and this is my senior year. But what gives me my love and passion for music predates all the way back to childhood, really. I mean, I grew up with music. It's been in my life, you know, every single day since I've been a kid, whether it be listening to music or just trying things out. You know, ever since elementary school, I've played, you know, the clarinet. I played the viola, and I played piano for a little bit too, and then I finally settled on drums and percussion after some time in soul searching, I guess, for instruments. But yeah, my love kind of just stems from just like my family and like the love of music within my family. Like my mom's you know, she loves to sing in church, and my dad, he loves to just like play music while he's working and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of where all of that stemmed from.
Yeah, and that's kind of actually a common theme I noticed, not only within our marching band guests that we've had, but also our athletes, is a love for music as like a driving factor for a lot. So I think that it's cool that you're able to be a part of the marching band that helps that driving factor for like our football team and our basketball team. So that is pretty cool. What do you enjoy most about your own section within POTM?
What I love most about the percussion section, particularly the drumline section, is the drive and the grit that we always have to put in, the discipline and the consistency at all times in order to be successful. And that's another thing. We're all wanting to be successful at all times. You know, there's not like one person who's kind of just like, meh, you know, if you want to be on the line, you got to prove it. And then they proved it, and now they're on the lines, you know. Yeah. So that's one thing that, you know, I really, you know, look at when like I see like a new person that comes in, you know, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it makes me excited to like see where they go.
Yeah,
so,
and we see a lot of that effort like on display whenever we see the performances as well, which is super cool to get to see because I think with percussion we see the drum line at the wall on campus until midnight or later sometimes. Yeah. So we get to see both the practice and the actual performance, which is pretty cool. And then what is your favorite song that was in the halftime show this year?
Daft Punk's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. That was our third quarter percussion feature. And it lives rent free in my head to this day, and it always has. I mean, I've listened to that song growing up too. But yeah, that song is definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah, that song, watching the whole halftime performance every single game, I was just waiting for the Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger percussion feature. So that's the best part, in my opinion.
It is.
But we are going to move to your lightning question. If you had to switch out of percussion, what would be your top section in POTM you'd want to learn or switch to?
Possible. No, I'm playing. Honestly, I've always looked at brass. I've always liked like trombone. I've always thought that was cool. I've had many friends, you know, in high school that played like low brass. I've always liked trombone. I thought trumpet was cool for a while, but I think I'd probably play trombone if I was in another section.
Of course, we have our general manager of WeTV, who is a trombone player. We heard him just now from inside the control room. So that's pretty cool to hear. But that is going to go ahead and do it for our last individual segment interview. Thank you, Jacai. It's always a pleasure having you here. Of course, thankfully, we do have you a little bit longer. We have prepared a montage of just a small moment from every single Chats with Cats up to this one. And afterwards, all 3 guests will be sitting down with me for our first ever Chats with Cats roundtable. Thank you, Jacai, and enjoy the montage ahead.
Guard, defend, score, pass. You know, whatever the team need me to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Every moment has been great being in Western Carolina.
Seeing the mountains, because I'm not used to that. And it's just like the view.
What about you?
I think for me, it's more like a purpose thing.
I'm just blessed to be in this position to be playing college basketball because everybody don't get this opportunity.
You can do anything with hard work. I mean, that's it. That's the biggest thing that I found through this.
The relationships that I built, I'm just like really grateful for.
I also think what motivates me is my teammates. We had all of Western backing us along the way. You know, there's nobody I'd rather go into a game with, so that really helps. And also the beautiful landscape that we have here.
We have such a good bond. Like, everybody loves to be around each other.
We all kind of push each other, pick on each other a little bit.
It's a very tight-knit, really supportive group of people.
It's a true family. It's a community.
I get to play the sport I love with my best friends every day.
And then the mountains are obviously beautiful, so.
The family feel is like so real.
I definitely say football and family all go together with our team.
Everyone is supportive of everyone. Everyone loves everyone. So it just like really felt like home for me. Cheerleading honestly is a sisterhood in itself. We're all super close.
I was literally captivated with the mountains and everything.
Family vibes from start to finish.
And go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
I would say we're like a little family, kind of.
So yeah, they're my family. My team is really close, so it's like I wouldn't want to be apart from them.
Play every game and play every team like it was our last.
Just knowing that God gave us those abilities to go out there and hoop.
We spend like all the time together, literally every day.
It's awesome being able to have that family.
You know, we're going to do everything we can to help every one of our players be the best that they can be in every area of their lives.
Every time we're not cheering, we're always together. We're all really close and we're all such good friends.
I really fell in love with the scenery and the people, and everybody was super welcoming.
I played for my grandfather. My grandfather actually played at West Virginia.
I mean, the scenery at the school is immaculate.
We beat NC State and Wake Forest my freshman year.
Basically everything that you do in practice leads up to the competition, so.
I got to actually have the opportunity to be one of the top quarterbacks selected to go down to the Manning Passing Academy.
So every day is a memorable moment with them, so yeah.
For me, I don't see a point in trying. If you're not going to put in 100%.
I think that we have a very tight bond between all of us.
I've met people that I'm going to know for the rest of my life.
Dance team is a big family. My mom always reminded me that God put this dream in your heart for a reason and you're here for a reason.
I think that we have a really strong bond that can never be broken.
Embrace the suck, because here's the thing.
Just, go with the flow. It's not going to hurt to ask for help. We all come together and support each other.
Make sure that you still have fun while you're playing.
Don't take this for granted.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
It is super important to realize that you matter. Hard work and good times go together, but it just so happens that hard work comes first. Be where your feet are.
I just think it's really interesting to connect with people on a personal level.
I love sport. I eat, breathe, drink sports.
Having a strong support network is definitely huge.
Hello, Catamounts.
You're unique, you're special, you're on your own journey.
Let out your aggression at our games. Cheer loud.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. The thing that keeps me the most motivated is the support system that I have around me. Take it one at bat and one play at a time. I would say we're definitely like sisters. Be grateful for where you are.
Try to spread positivity.
Don't overstress yourself. I love this year. It's a great family feel.
So just the love for the game keeps me going too.
You are more than enough regardless of your performance. Play for yourself because it was so fun back then and not to put so much pressure on yourself.
Prioritize your mental health.
I think the community here is really, really special. Feel loved and like we're people before we're athletes.
You just truly have to enjoy every single moment. My teammates are the best.
I love these guys, they're feels like they're my brothers.
God's helped me get through all of this.
Somebody has to win, so why can't it be?
Enjoy the process.
To being a student athlete, it means a lot to me.
Please be a comm major.
I've been a sports fan for a good while now.
At the end of the day, it really is just band.
We really love what we're doing. We love performing. We love playing.
You put your mental health and then everything else. Go for gold.
If any opportunity you want in life, you got to be available towards it.
People first, athletes second.
Use your time wisely, because time flies.
Be yourself and enjoy what you enjoy for a little bit. Our team slogan is kind of you before me, together we. Just keep your head up and it's going to get better no matter what happens.
Just showing up to games means a lot to us.
The good and the bad days, just to enjoy it all.
I'm just the backbone of this entire operation.
And we are back yet again. I have here Elias Barton from our Season 2 premiere, Sadler Miller of our Season 3 premiere, and Jacai Germain of the most recent premiere, Season 4. So we will go ahead and jump into our topics here over Season 3 and 4, starting with Sadler's second interview. Mental health has become one of our central topics at Chats with Cats. whether that is on the side of marching band members or student athletes. What do you all see improving as far as mental health awareness, and what can we do to do more for our student athletes and POTM members? Whoever would like to start.
I can start us off. Honestly, for mental health right now, currently, there's not a ton that I would say is like being done. I think some stuff is slightly getting better, just it's becoming a little more aware, like people in general. However, there's not a whole lot for that, because it's not something that typically everybody talks about. I, for one, am not going to go around just telling everybody like, oh yeah, my mental health sucks today. So it's kind of one of those things that we keep a little more private, and it's kind of difficult to open up about that. So yeah, and then for like future, I don't even know. What do you guys think? I have no idea.
I think right now I definitely think that it's becoming more part of the discussion. I think that not only student athletes are slightly becoming more vulnerable and able to talk about it more, but I think that our coaches and weight staff and people in our athletic department are also kind of starting to become more aware. And they'll mention things, you know, at the end of weights, talking about making sure we take care of ourselves and at track practice. And I know both of my coaches have been extremely good with me with how busy my schedule is. They're like, if you need a break, you can always talk to us. We're going to try and help you. So that definitely, it goes a mile. Not that I probably won't ever ask for it, but just knowing that that's there, it really does help. And I think that going forward in the future, just having resources that are available. A lot of the times, I know our staff that we have on campus for mental health, sometimes you can't make an appointment. So that might discourage someone from making an appointment altogether. So I think just having more different kinds of available resources and maybe places that people feel comfortable going could definitely be a start to something new.
Yeah, if I could chime in, I guess on like the POTM part of that question, everybody in POTM, I think I said this already in the last interview, but everyone's a family, right? So, you know, if somebody's going through something, there's always at least one person that will always check on you, you know, whether that be somebody in your section or somebody outside of your section. There's always, you know, there's a support system within everybody, you know, somebody supports he or she or, you know, they, them, whatever. We're all in this together. At least that's kind of how I grew up with it. You know, we were always, you know, a family within each other. I think for the individual, if somebody is struggling with mental health, some advice that I've been told is to just pay attention to your thoughts, you know, really check into yourself, really make sure you're like, you know, asking yourself, like, because not all your thoughts are true, right? Some are, but some aren't. So you really got to check in with yourself and be like, is that really true? Is that who I am? Is that true to who I am as a person? And then from that, you can decipher how you can feel from that.
I think on both sides, that family aspect is something that's very important and unfortunately isn't present in like every single university's like marching band or athletic department. But at Western, we are lucky enough to have teams that are like very close, as well as overall a lot of the different teams together. Like track might be very close with like basketball, or like across different sports is really close, and that's something that's really special here. But being able to actually like pay attention to your own thoughts is also very important. Our next question, what do you hope people take away from this series, whether as a guest or a viewer?
Honestly, I just hope people can kind of sit down and watch some of our videos and kind of get a little bit of insight of kind of what we're going through, or kind of what's going on with us behind the scenes with kind of the mental health, school and academics, track and working out, eating healthy on the side, like kind of tying it all together. It's a lot, you know. We're training 5-6 days a week. We have weight training on top of that, and then you're having to find time to, you know, make sure you're eating properly, sleeping properly, and then on top of that is academics, and you also want to do well in academics, and so you have a lot of factors that go into it. So, yeah.
I think to me, this series is really special because it gives an insight into everyone. You know, we're all just people, and that everyone has struggles that they're going through. Even, I feel like today, even with how prevalent social media is, you know, we're always posting the highlights. So not many people probably know about the downsides, and, you know, if we are self-conscious about things or vulnerable or we're struggling with our mental health. So I think this podcast gives people an area to talk about the things that they're struggling with, and it gives us a forum to talk about mental health and stuff like that, and so people can come on and watch that it's not always the highlights that you see.
For me, my family and friends kind of watch these things. Like, you know, I showed them my first time doing it, and then they kind of checked out a couple others, which I thought was cool. So like just, you know, common people, general people could just be like, okay, cool, just take a look at what we do as students here at Western. And then also for like high schoolers that might be interested in coming to Western, they could also take a look at these things and be like, oh, okay, cool. So that's some of the stuff I could kind of look into.
Yeah, I think that the ability to actually see people or student athletes or marching band members as more than just the instrument that they play or the sport that they play has been like a really big thing that I've been proud of throughout the series. More and more athletes, especially as we've gotten into more like deeper discussions as we've gone further and further with the show, like we mentioned with the mental health. It's been really exciting to see. So glad that the three of you have gotten to come on multiple times now, and each of you I hope has one more interview left too. But for each of you, I'd like to just give you a chance to shout out some people that have had a big impact on you in your development to be a student athlete or band member.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I gotta give all the praise and glory to God. I don't think without my faith I'd be running right now. So that's definitely a big motivating factor for me, and huge shout out to that. And my family, my parents, my girlfriend, all of them supporting me, being there for me, help kind of push me and make me better. And of course the coaching staff is great here. And then just watching professional athletes and kind of seeing how far they can go definitely pushes me to, you know, tweak my performance and see how I view things and change and adapt.
It's hard to only shout out one person, but I would definitely say my family. Trying to do so many different sports definitely made them busy as well. So their support over the years is, you know, part of the reason why I'm able to be where I am. But also the very first college coach I had, Courtney Gunter, she's not with us anymore, but she was here my very first 2 years, and she's the one that really saw potential in me when I was in high school. And, you know, looking back, I'm like, wow, my swing didn't look very good. So seeing that she had so much potential in me, and she brought a different aspect to looking at sports, and that it's not just your score isn't who you are, or your stats, measurements, whatever. You're more than just that number. You know, you're a person as well. So she really created a tight-knit team, and that really made me fall in love with the sport and how golf isn't just an individual sport. So definitely those two people, for sure.
For me, it's also hard to just name one person, so I'm just going to list them out. Thank you to my mom and my dad for just always believing in me, and my mom for kind of making me do stuff, even though I didn't think it was a good idea. She knew in her head it was a good idea. Like, for instance, like my mom, she told me to do marching band in my, like, going into my freshman year of high school. I was like, I'm not doing that, Mom. And then she, you know, look where I am right now, you know. So she has a good insight, you know, for sure. But yeah, just shout out to my mom and dad. Shout out to the professors, the music professors that kind of like taught me how to do stuff, you know, opened my eyes up a lot more than what I thought was possible. And shout out to Matt Henley, who's the band of directors at Pride of the Mountains. He inspires everybody, you know, not just in the drum line, but also in like the entire band and also the alumni as well. You know, a lot of the alumni actually came out to homecoming, and I think it was mainly due because of Matt and his charisma and who he is. You know, a lot of the alumni came back and, you know, showed a lot of love during the homecoming game, so that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you all for doing the shout-outs for me this episode, so I don't have to. But thank you all for joining me for this very special and unique Chats with Cats segment. We have one final shout-out sent in from Chats with Cats guest number 1, Russell Jones Jr., who's spent his time after WCU playing basketball overseas. Check it out.
Catamount Nation, how you guys doing? This is Russell Jones Jr., former Western Carolina basketball player. I just wanted to give a shout out to my guy Alex for doing the Chats with the Cats on one of the best shows in the college community. I'm really happy and grateful for what he's doing for Catamount Athletics and just sharing the stories of all the athletes who compete for the Catamounts. And just, you know, me being one of the first guys he interviewed, you know, that was a privilege to be on the show. And I'm happy to see that he's continued to do the show and do well. So once again, this is Russell Jones Jr. Shout out to Catamount Nation. Go Cats.
First off, thank you, Russell. Your very first interview on the show, and support is what made all of this possible. Thank you to anyone tuning in live. Thank you to my incredible tech crew, especially those here with me now, Dom, Owen, Ryan, Julian, and Jack is not out here, but he is in there controlling things. Everybody has been a huge support, especially our studio manager, Jacob Pendergraph. I couldn't do what I do without the support of all of you. Thank you to our incredible season-starting guests, Elias, Jacai, and Sadler. And I'm going to go ahead and outro this so you guys can head on out. Thank you all again for being on. This has been such an incredible experience, but I, of course, don't plan on stopping. I plan on continuing to bring these athletes and their stories to this platform for as long as I possibly can. Thank you to everyone that has been involved in this 100-episode experience, whether you have been on the screen, behind the scenes in tech roles, or just encouraging me along the way. These people, these stories, and lives on and off the fields and courts and everything mean the world to me. Thank you all for watching, and as always, go Cats.